Hey, what's up guys? It's Sebastian from the King Tackle Store and Seabass Outdoors. Today, probably the #1 question. How can I mark the bottom or fish going at full speed, 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour? My boat, 58 miles an hour, I see the bottom, no problem. I'm not gonna mark fish well, but I can do, putter around at 40 miles an hour and see the bottom and see structure perfectly. You need two things. Through haul transducer and a Y cable. Your transducer has to match the unit you're purchasing. This is a G2 unit. This is the in-haul dual spectrum chirp transducer because this unit is chirp, so you have to be careful when you buy this. Comes with a kit, epoxy resin kit. Everything's been wired through, and we're going to show you how we're going to install it and why it's important to run a transducer like this when you're running a bass boat. Like, it's not important. You have this gentleman that I'm rigging the boat has 3 units. He's got $10,000 worth of fish finders, but when he gets on plane past 10 miles an hour, he loses all communication with the bottom. He has no data whatsoever. So now I'm going to put a through haul, and what this Y cable does, this part takes only the down imaging and the side imaging of his transducer. He's running side imaging, down imaging, and 2D right now on his main transducer. So this Y cable is going to split the 2D. Basically going to cancel the 2D from the main transducer and only allow down imaging data and side imaging data to get relayed back to the unit. And at the Y cable, it's going to split, and we're going to plug this bad boy right here for the 2D. So now he has a dedicated transducer, 2D transducer. When he's on plane or idling, it's always going to mark the bottom. So plain and simple, fairly cheap. Both accessories probably run you less than $150 Canadian. It's got to be well done properly, and once it's well done properly, you won't have a problem puttering around doing 20, 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, people up to 70 miles an hour, depending on how your hull design is. So we're going to show you how we're going to epoxy it. We're going to go from there. What you need is one of them bad boys, a snake or whatever, fish tape, whatever you want to call it. A lot of patience, a lot of swear words, spray 9. You need to clean everything in here because I'll show you before and after pictures. It's disgusting down here. It's full of grease. He had a two-stroke engine before. There's oil everywhere. There's gas residue. There's mildew in there. We got to clean the bottom. It has to be degreased properly. Once you got that done, you are going to find your surface. You are going to clean your transducer. You're going to open your package here and see we have a 2-part epoxy. The directions on here. These two are going to have to be mixed together. It's very easy to mix them together because all I got to do is slide this off. Now these two will be able to be mixed together properly. We want to make sure there's no bubbles through. And we're just going to apply it on the transducer in the bottom of the boat. I'm going to show you. So we've cleaned everything. I want to make sure, see there's a little bit of water down here. I'm going to have to clean that properly. I'm probably going to take a hair dryer and make sure everything's dried properly. I'm going to plug the boat back in, and I'm going to set up where I want to set up the transducer. As I said, there's 2 transducers already epoxied here for his Lowrance. They're not connected, but I'm not going to rip them off in case he wants to reuse them soon. So I'm going to place this transducer right about here. Essentially, I would love to being able to put it here. So what we're going to do is we're going to place it right here. I'm going to let this dry once I put the epoxy and everything for 24 hours, and once that's done. So you see I got it set up here. I got this just in case the water would come down. And what I do is I bring this back up a little bit to seal the transducer a little bit tight, so it won't pop off over time. So I'm bringing that up a little. So the unit was already previously plugged in. I got the plug at the back. I need to replace this from this bad boy. I don't know if you guys can see. So we're gonna replace this bad boy and install the Y cable through here. Once that's done, take the screws and put it back together. Like I mentioned before, it's fairly simple. So I'm doing this for a customer of mine. So we're tightening this properly. There we go. Without a problem. So he's gonna come hang on the other side here. So I'm just wiring them through, and I'm gonna go plug at the back the proper wires. It's important to wire these fish finders properly. If you don't have the electrical wiring needed for these fish finder, you're gonna have poor performance on your data you're getting back or your images. So it's very important to properly wire the electrical for this, not just a transducer. From what I can see, it's not 100% wired properly on this boat. I'm gonna make a suggestion to the owner, but if you're gonna run fish finders like this, it's better to run them directly to the battery without a fuse box. And use the inline fuse that comes with these units. Also, ferrite rings will help you minimize the interference from either your big motor or your troll motor and all the electrical component you have in there. Also the wire thickness, but we're gonna wire this. You can see they're coming through here. I have my 2D that's coming here, and I just gotta slide my side imaging down here. And then you have me upside down. Dual beam is my 2-prong one, my 2-prong transducer cable. They'll click together once they're together. So these are set up properly. I'm gonna tape them properly up here into together. I'm gonna put some electrical tape around each so they don't pop out like this. And then we'll be set to go. And then he'll be able to use his unit. We're gonna power it and make sure it's working. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and visit the Canadian Tackle Store. We will see you guys on the water soon.